right. I'm not going to need my multimeter for this repair. Not going to fit into that drawer either. Alright. First off, I wanted to say thank you so far to all the people that have subscribed to my YouTube channel. I'm at 116 subscribers. Just wanted to thank each and every one of you for subscribing and watching my videos, and anyone else. So here's to 100 and hopefully a few hundred more in the future. And to celebrate that, we're going to do a repair of this. I bet you're wondering what this is. This is a Bluetooth speaker. I guess the brand is Miatone. Oh, turn my soldering station on. It's a Miatone Boombox Q12. And the fault is it's not powering on, which you see there's a little tiny pinhole for a light here, and if you push the button and hold it, that was my soldering iron, it's not turning on. So I will try to charge it. I hook it up to my USB-C. Hook it up to my USB-C charger here. Plug that in. Does it will charge? And I'm getting no activity on my charging base. You can barely see my charging base is right here. It's got a screen on it, and if this thing was pulling current, or if it was pulling current to charge, the screen would come on with like 5 volts and 900 milliamps or 500 depending on what this thing. Input 5 volts at 700 milliamps, so it should be pulling 700 milliamps. And it looks like it has a 3.7 volt 27 milliamp hour battery. And this USB plug feels real loose. When I do plug it in my charging base, I get some activity on the charging base, but it is not, it's not charging. So I wonder if the battery is dead. See, if I hook up my phone, you can barely see it, but it says 5.2 volts, 1.3 amps on my cell phone. So it is charging my cell phone, so that does work. Oh, it's going to 10 volts, so it's fast charging. First things we're going to check is the charging port on here, because I have a feeling that since it's not pulling any current at all, it's not charging because of possibly a damaged charging port. So we're going to bring the camera over here and hope that it doesn't disconnect. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the USB port. And I'm going to try to pay attention to the camera, or to the microscope, to see if you can see inside. Yeah. I don't know how well you can see that, but the pins are severely damaged on that charging port. I don't know how well you can see that. I wonder if I can grab an extra light. See if I can lighten it up a little bit, if that'll help. Yes, no. I don't know if you can see that or not, but anyway. There's supposed to be 5 pins and a piece of plastic in here. Looks like that pin there is, plastic is broken there, and these pins are, and the port's all flimsy. It seems like it's broken. See how flimsy that is? And then this side, the pin is completely gone. So I'm betting that this is a charge port job. So we're gonna get the camera out of the way, go back to overhead. So I did pop this cover off to take a look, and I know that there's a speaker. Like, these are passive radiators. There's two little subwoofers or speakers in here, and these are passive radiators, so it's just like basically the cone of a subwoofer. So there's no electricity going through it. It's just using the vibration from these other speakers to create different subwoofer frequency because they're different size. Anyway, I popped this grill off before, so we're gonna go ahead and pop it off again. And I actually I had one of my iSesimos I was using, and it went underneath my computer, so I'll have to dig that out later. But we're gonna go ahead and see if we can fix this for my neighbor. This is my neighbor's daughter's little Bluetooth speaker. And they wanted to see if I can repair it, so we are going to give it a shot. So this little cover pops off here. Yep, and then as you can see, there's subwoofers. There's a couple speakers. So yeah, basically they're all in the same chamber. And when these move, you probably cannot see that, but if I push this speaker in, you see that one moves. Anyway, we're not going to go into sound and stuff like that. I already had a look in here, so I know you can see that the USB charge port and the headphones or the auxiliary jack is behind this speaker. So we're going to pop this speaker out gently using a Phillips PH1 size screwdriver. We're going to take this speaker out of here. See if we can't fix this. I'm gonna assume that since this thing doesn't have data or anything like a hard drive, it's only gonna have 5 pins. Probably a couple for 5 volts charging or whatever, and ground. We're not gonna have like a 10-pin charge jack. Alright, we'll see if we can gently get this speaker out of here. Alright. See, now we have access. See in the back there, like I said, I already popped this out and looked at it. So I didn't really cheat, but I took the cover off to see what I was looking at. So in here, this is a plate that's got 4 screws. And this is where the charging jack and stuff is. Charging jack and the auxiliary jack. So we're going to see if we can unscrew that without dropping screws inside. There's more screws in there. There's one there. thought there was 4 because I moved that. Alright, now I'm going to take some tweezers and pull this out. Getting this out is kind of tricky. You got to maneuver around a couple of things. A couple of pieces of plastic inside. Gotta turn and then voila, there's the charging board. Now I want to say it's held on by just this ribbon cable. I'm really not sure if I want to take that out or not. Looks like it's got, here I'll show you, some tabs to hold the ribbon cable in here. Let me switch to scope cam. I'm sorry. Flip over. So you can see there's the ribbon cable. So I don't know if you pull these tabs back. I can try that. Carefully put those tabs. There we go. We unhooked it. Cool. So I can set the rest of the speaker aside. And now we got our little charging board. Zoom down on that a little bit. So there's our charge port. Charge port, we got a filter here. Another filter here. A couple caps. Connector. There's our audio, our auxiliary plug. And that's it, huh? So I'm not going to use hot air on this. I'm going to use low melt solder because this thing seems so delicate. I don't want to ruin it. Let's check out that charging port now. Oh yeah, you can see the damage now. I'm going to zoom in on that for you. See how chewed up those pins are? So this pin over here is actually busted off. It's busted off in the back. Not sure how well you can see that. You can see how mangled those pins are. And I mean, it's natural. It's just from, you know, unplugging and plugging this in, all the cycles the charge cycles and everything this goes through. It's just natural for this thing to degrade over time. We're going to see if we can use some low melt. It's got 5 pins there. And then the 4 anchor pins. We're going to see if we can replace this charge port. First thing we're going to do is we're going to see if we can find a match. So there's that, and then I got my micro. I'm going to switch cameras here so you can see. I've got my set of USB micro connectors. So we got a pretty good selection, and then we also got, these are minis. It's too big for a mini. It's obviously a micro. We're gonna see if we can find a match. I see it's got flared ends on it and 5 pins. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch cameras again. Go back down to it and see if we can find one. I'm gonna take this shiny guy here and see. No, that one would probably work. Yeah, I think that one would do just fine if we wanted to use that one. I don't think that'd be a problem at all. I think that would be a suitable match. Yeah, I would think that would make a perfect match. Let's try another one here. What about this guy? Yeah, he's a really good match too. This one has like these flared, it's like kind of flared at the end. I don't know if that really makes a difference or not. And then I've got one more I want to try. That one's got kind of a bent pin. If we can bend that pin. Oh, straighten that pin up a little bit. This one's got the flared end. That one's got the flared end just like this one. Let's see what the top looks like. Yeah, I think this guy's a match. I think he's a good match. Look at that. Look how close they look. So we can scoot them. Yeah. Looks like a couple of happy face. Look like little monster faces. Alright, I think we got a winner. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and desolder. We're going to get our low melt solder. We're going to go ahead and take care of removing the old connector, and we will put a new connector on and see if this thing will charge. It's time to make some noise. Turn on my fume extractor. Some solder. So we're going to go from this side first. We're going to do some flux. Get out some low melt solder. And I know this is going to be a kind of a longer video, but I don't care because I'm going to take my time and make sure this gets done correctly. I am by no means in any hurry to get this knocked out just for the sake of making it a shorter video. If people think this video is too long and they don't want to watch it, I will not hold it against them. But I want to do this job correctly in the way that I feel I can do it. So we're just going to go ahead and get our anchor pads wet here. With our low melt. And we'll just try to wick it to start off with. guess I can scoot that down so you can actually see what I'm doing. Where did that go? Ow. Heard it hit the floor. Alright. We're doing the anchor pads first. We want to get those nice and cleared out if we can. Alright, we're gonna hit this with a little low melt. I mean, we'll try it without using the hot air at first, and if we can't get it, then we'll hot air it off. We just have to watch this connector because it's plastic, and the audio. So what I'm doing is just trying to get as much of the lead-free solder off. You know what? I'll use hot air. What we'll do is we'll Kapton tape the heck out of both pieces that we don't want to get hot. Should make quick work of that. That old port. We'll just face it this way. Like that. What a Kapton tape will do, it'll do two jobs. It'll hold the board down and it'll protect this port from getting a blast of heat. This board doesn't have a lot of thermal mass, so I don't imagine this is going to take too much effort to get off. Now I'm going to point my heat this way to keep it off that microphone, or off the auxiliary port and the connector. Boom, just like that. That was simple. Alright, and just like that, that port is gone. And we didn't melt anything else that we didn't want to melt. So now we're going to turn it around. There's a good view of the destroyed insides of that. Alright. So now we'll just turn this around because I'm right-handed, and that's going to be a pain to solder it and fix. So we're going to flip it around 180 degrees here. Get her in view. Just like that. And we'll put some flux and some solder, and we'll clean all these pads up, and we'll get it, the next one, the new one, soldered on. Alright. Like I said, this little tiny board doesn't have a lot of thermal mass, so it's not going to take much to get that connector off. Alright. Sometimes these anchor holes can be a bit of a pain to clean out. Well, with a little patience. Here we go. Nice and clean. Alright. Let's clean up our mess here a little bit. Get it ready for our new connector. Use a little IPA here. Clean things up. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to test our new port and see what, check the fit, make sure it fits okay. Then we'll solder the anchor pads down, or the anchor legs down first. Looks like she's gonna fit right at home. Look at that. Beautiful. Just sits there just like that. It's right at home in that spot. Alright. Now we'll gently flip this board over and we'll solder the anchor pads on. Make sure our port's nice and flat. Flush to the board, which it looks like it is. We're going to clean up this mess. And then we're going to make another mess. Look how nice and flat those pads are sitting down, or those pins. Look at that. Very nice. Alright. That nice and clear for you. Do a little flux. I'm not a very good filmographer. Not as good at filming, videotaping stuff as I am soldering, I guess. So we'll just fill these up with solder a little bit. Maybe a little more. Just want to make sure we fill it up good. Clean that tip again. They're full. Don't have to be overflowing. Okay. Now, clean all this up. Get all that flux residue off. Everything looks nice and shiny. Make sure we don't put our board down into a pile of flux. And now we are going to attack these. Oops. We're going to attack these pins. Yeah. This is kind of a pain because the board wants to move around. Alright, we're going to clean those up a little bit. Just use a little more flux. Alright, let's check and make sure none of those, let's clean them and make sure none of them move. Got nice fillets on them, or fillets. Look at that. Very nice. Excellent. Alright, then we're going to do a final cleaning, and then we are going to put this back into the speaker and see if it works. Just give it a liberal brushing with some IPA and a brush, soft bristle brush here. And check those pins. Just we're gonna poke at them real quick. Solid. Solid. Great. All right. We'll go ahead and turn off the fume extractor because it's annoyingly loud. Go ahead and get things out of our way here. Okay, we're going to switch to overhead. We're going to see if we can gently guide that cable in. Like that. And where did my tweezers go? Tweezers are my tool of choice for precision work. All right. Lock that back down there. Cool. Alright, now we're going to gently put this back into the speaker. Got to do a game of Twister here to get this board back where it goes. There's like a post here. Whoop, easy. There's like a post here that's in the way. Once you clear that, there we go. Looks like we're in line. So we'll go ahead and fasten that back down. Hope this works. This will be so nice. We're gonna put a couple of the screws back in the speaker, and we'll plug it in and test it and see if we get a light and see if it starts charging and can turn on. Alright. Just gently put our little speaker back in here, like so. And get a bigger driver because these are bigger screws, and we're just going to put 2 in because as I always say when I'm fixing computers and things like that, it's bad luck to fully assemble it before you test it. For some reason, every time I fully assemble a machine or something before I test it, it ends up not working. But if I leave 1 or 2 screws out, I guess the repair gods are happy and the device works. Alright, let's plug it in and see if it draws any current. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my unplug my phone. I'm trying to see if there's something that I have that I can plug in so you can actually see it charging. And I've got a USB-C current meter, or current, like a charging thing. Let's see if I can plug it in so you can see what I'm doing. Aha. Not gonna work with that. Shoot. Oh, alright. Well, you're just gonna have to trust me and see. Alright, here goes nothing. Let's plug it in and see what happens. I mean, it could not work. Plug it into our nice new charging key. Oh. Would help if you plugged it in the right way. Well, right now we have a light. You can't see that. We actually have a charge light here. But it's not drawing any current. Oh, now it is.
Power on. Blue battery low. Power off.
Hey, it's working. Why is it not charging? I don't understand. Or is it charging? Input, yeah, DC 5 volt 700 milliamps, so let me unplug it again. Well, you heard it turn on, so I know it works. But it's not drawing any current. I want to see. Where's my. I have another USB-C. Another USB-C meter. Cables and adapters. Where is it? I just got 2 brand new. So there's display adapters, cables and adapter. You know what? I'll grab one. I've got another one in a bag. I'll just grab this one. I mean, it looks like it's acting like it's charging, so, but there's, for some reason, there's no current draw on my thing. So I have one of these. I'll plug it in here to see what if it's drawing any current or not. So it's at 5 volts, 140 milliamps. Is it because I have it on that quick charge? Let's put it on a regular USB-C port. At 5 volts, 130 milliamps, so I assume it's charging. Anyway, I guess I'll give it a few minutes and see what it says. Wonder if I can connect it to my phone and see if it'll show me a battery symbol. Well, we obviously figured out the problem was the charge port, so we fixed that. I just want to make sure it charges and that it'll connect. What was this thing called again? Miatone. Alright, I want to see if it'll connect to my phone.
Power on. Blue battery low. Power off.
I think it wants to charge for a while. If it's charging at 140 milliamps and that's a 2500 milliamp hour battery, that's going to take, rough math, that's going to take like it's good 10 hours to charge, fully charge. And I am not going to make a 10-hour YouTube video just to show that this thing is fully working. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to call this a win right now, end this video so I can upload it, because it's going to be an hour long as it is. I'm going to upload this video, and then what I'll do is I will let this thing sit and charge overnight, and then I'll just do a quick 5-minute follow-up video to show that it's charged and working. Which is weird, because I wonder why it wouldn't be pulling 700 milliamps if it was dead. I don't know. I don't have one of these things brand new, so I don't know how much current it's supposed to pull. But right now, like I said, it's sitting at 5 volts, 140 milliamps. So it's definitely doing something. I'm assuming that white light means it's charging. So
Power on. Bluetooth mode. Battery low. Power off.
oh, this sounds really good. I wonder how much these things cost. The speakers sound really good. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put the other two screws in it, and then I'm going to put the cover back on, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna let it charge overnight. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm tired. Like I said, I don't want to do a 10-hour video showing that this thing is charging and then the battery's good and holding a charge. I mean, if I have to replace the battery too, that's a different story. I doubt it. But so remember, I'll do this and make it easier. These things are tricky to get back on. There we go. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna charge this, like I said, 3 times already. We're gonna let it sit on the charger overnight. See if it holds a charge. So anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next repair. Take care.